Welcome to On the Chain. This is Jeff. That is
This is
Chip. What is going on, everybody? Jeff. We got it right. This is Chip. That is Jeff. So, interesting enough, Ripple stole something from Amazon. Did they really? Well, we're going to talk about what Ripple got from Amazon because I think it's kind of a big deal. Ripple's also marching and moving at rapid speed. We talked a little bit about some of their acquisitions the other day. CBDCs, big NFTs, big real estate. What is Ripple getting into? What is the entire crypto space getting into? Because it seems like the blue team, not so much on board. Ready?
Blue teams, yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to take this on. Let's go, Jeff.
Welcome to On the Chain.
To our one listener over there on Twitch, Bastard Tomato.
Love you guys. What's up? A dog driving me crazy again today, Jeff. Okay, so let's jump into it really quick. You guys, drop where you're from. We always like to put that up there while we're talking. So drop in where you're from, and we like to see that in there. But I wanted to start today off with let's start with some Ripple stuff, like just right out of the gate. Right out of the gate, Jeff. Can we do that? I think we can.
Kelly Slade said that our title was clickbaity. Come on.
It always is. Every listen, you click and then we disseminate
and
the
we
FUD,
pay.
right? I mean, the thing about the thing about it is
you click.
Well, because if you guys pay attention, we goof around most of the stuff that goes on around the internet, right? So like, you can't wait to see this. You won't believe number 3. You know, we got hoard bliss But the thing we do is we talk about it in a real sort of a sophisticated sort of a manner. But let's do this. Ooh,
dude, we've got Detroit in the house.
We also got Pittsburgh in the house, but it's spelled wrong. That's okay.
That's okay.
Missing that H at the end, but I did some time in Pittsburgh. I went to school there, so
hence
they did it. Okay, good. I was like, there's missing the G, man. Come on, you can't be from the Berg.
And El Jefe is hanging out up in Michigan as well, because the Michigan weather right about now is beautiful up there. Eric Martinson, what's going on?
Eric,
man. So
Eric is a beast. By the way, if you want to know a beast, like if you want to know the NFT aficionado, it's Eric. He's got so many projects that he's into, and man, I did tell you. But if you're not following Eric too, you're missing out. Go follow him, and been really inspiring me with these push-ups and this fitness thing regime you got going on. You're shaming all of us, man. You're shaming all of us.
Good job with all of that.
Let's put this up here.
A quick Yarluk from all the badass Yetis out there too. Just throwing it out there. That means hello in Bay language.
Bay meaning badass Yetis is what that's all about. So congratulations. This is from Emi Yoshikawa. She is I always forget her title, her official title. Oh, so now it's Web3 in crypto at Ripple, XRPL, and she's based in San Francisco. But she put this tweet out here. She's congratulating James and team. So if we go deeper in here, you can see that Ripple's the proud winner of 2 awards and the Digital Currency Award sponsored by Currency Research, and the hashtag DCC Oscars go to James Wallis for Digital Currency Leader of the Year, and Ripple CBDC team for Best Sustainability Award for Digital Currency, Jeff. And there it is right there. So you see James Wallis there accepting the award. And it's a cool looking award, I have to say. Look at this thing. It looks like a hinge or something. Doesn't it look like a medieval thing you would throw at somebody?
That's very cool, actually. It's like kind of like an axe. It's kind of like a
badass Yeti tool, like a weapon almost, right?
That actually is a badass Yeti tool. That's very.
You stick that on the end of a big chunk of wood, and you got a multi-user device there. That's phenomenal.
You can use it to kill, and you can use it to chop down wood. You can use it to break up rocks. And it's a perfect tool.
You just bang somebody on the head with it and knock them out, Jeff, or worse.
Right.
But I like this.
If you're making pasta, you can flip it over on the side on the pot, and you can drop your pasta through the hole. Make sure you get it nicely bunched up together.
Yeah, and I never knew what those holes were for until I never realized they were for measuring pasta. Like, what are these holes for? I didn't know.
But I need a hole. I just take the whole bag and throw it in the water.
I see. So Jeff,
here's a bag of pasta.
Now here's a big question for everybody out there. Like, this is something we gotta drill down on, non-crypto related. But when you take spaghetti,
yep,
you put it in the pan. Okay, so let's start at the beginning. Do you put salt in the water? Yes or no? Do you put oil in the water? Some people put oil in the water, or you just do it plain. It's an A, B, or C.
I'm gonna put a poll up for this.
Okay, Jeff. You gotta break it going because I got some other ones to break down too.
But that's a really good one because man, that's a really good question. Now, salt and oil are critical in the pasta making. You know, you have to have both salt and oil.
Well, there's different schools of thought on that one though. So this is how an award that has holes in it will lead us to a conversation about pasta, right?
Right. It's exactly
that's how it goes.
So what was the question? How do you make your pasta?
How do you make your pasta? And it's kind of a weird one because, like, you know, do you salt the water, put oil in the water? Do you do both, or do you do none? I guess that would be it, because sometimes it's like the salt and the oil. So it's salt water.
Salt and water.
Oil and water.
Yep.
Salt and oil and water, or none of the above.
There we go. Salt and oil.
Look, everyone's chiming in here.
Or the last option is none of the above. Okay, here we go.
Murphy's saying oil and salt, 10 minutes.
Okay, here we go. Ask your community. How do you make your pasta? There you go.
How do you make your
poll
pasta?
is going out. This will be an interesting poll.
It's an important poll.
A very important poll. This is probably more critical than anything happening in the crypto space is how does everybody properly make their pasta?
Well, we all eat pasta, so it's important to know how we do it. How do we do it? And like, what's the winning one, right?
Well, the next one, what type of pasta?
Did you
My favorite is the brown.
Where is it?
It's gone live.
Okay, it's online.
On this side.
Yeah, I don't see it on that side.
I had to do it on our dashboard thing.
Very good, very good. So I guess the second part of that is like, so here's another one. Now, pasta purists with spaghetti, they put the entire pasta in there. Then there's some people that break the pasta and then put it in there, right?
Sacrilege.
So the purists will say never break the pasta. I've actually seen people break it in threes. I've seen click. They break it and they break it up, you know, because they think it's easier to eat, right? So you get like little pieces of spaghetti that when you go to put it on your fork fall off, like spin off the fork, fall off. Like,
no good.
Pasta's up.
Pasta's now up 3 point, and that's not just any pasta. That's the crypto pasta.
Crypto pasta, Jeff.
This is all very like a subterfuge way of promoting.
And Jeff, that might be a new product that we could add to the merch store. It's like we'll add. So you can get a T-shirt, you can get a hat.
I like it.
And you can get some pasta, right? I mean, it's potentially possible.
We're working on something else really.
What's weird about pasta, Jeff, is like there's so many different brands, but everybody has a favorite, right? Everybody like, nope, this is the only pasta that I have. Anyway, breaking away from the pasta conversation, that's not what we came to talk about.
By the way, Chip, this is number 2.
Oh, good. Glad to see that.
Not cup number 2.
It's number 2. So Jeff, you know, I don't know if you realize this, but Bitcoin Miami is going on right now. And we didn't go this year. I know Ripple had a party. I know there was a bunch of people taking pictures and hey, we're at the Ripple party.
We didn't go because we're too busy preparing for today's show.
Okay. Well, I like the sound of it. It sounds really good, man. So
it sounds really good.
But this guy here went and so he was breaking down Bitcoin Miami, and now let's listen in. Let's listen to what he has to say about it.
Be bored on a Thursday fucking night? Come to Bitcoin Miami 2023. This place sucks. It's nerd bizarro land here. Oh my god, this is so fucking boring. Oh shit, it's Michael Saylor. Where's Kathy Wood, bitch? No, he looks like shit in person. He looks really old. How boring was the convention, you ask? Say less. Really, what the fuck? I mean, get yourselves together. This is the future of fucking money over here. Hey guys, changing the world. Yeah, playing chess. That's right. They're fucking playing chess. Nerdville. Third fucking beer and I don't even drink. This place sucks. Just like this guy. He's wearing a fucking sailor's hat taking a selfie. Oh, fuck off. No way you're gonna ride this bull, bro. No way. Whoever told you could, they're lying to you. It never ends good. Does it get any lamer than the Back to the Future car? Whoever put this convention together, stupid. Fucking thing sucks. Bored out of my mind. For Christ's sake. This guy right here coming up, he was parked right next to me. I saw him take that off and he's Puerto Rican. This guy had a ponytail. Hate you. You're trying to be...
So Jeff... It's really
oh my god, that's hilarious. That's the best thing I've ever seen.
This guy's a star, man. It's like I want this guy to go to every event and talk about how bad it is. Jeff, can you imagine that? I mean, like just go to every event and talk about how horribly bad it is. I mean, you know.
That was funny. That was really funny.
How about this one right here? Spaghetti.
Oh, sorry. Well, yeah. So we get the spaghetti and bastard tomato. We want badass pasta Yeti.
That could be,
Badass
man.
pasta.
Well, we are
Badass Yeti's
listen,
pasta.
we are coming out. We are building a brand, and so we are going to be in the near future talking more about that. We'll see what that looks like, right? You never know what that might be. I mean, who knows? I mean,
Who knows? Who knows what it
morning,
might
you
be.
badass Yetis. I love the badass Yeti community. It's really fantastic to see everybody over on the Discord. How about the Peppy convention?
The Waffle House.
The new Waffle. You guys are. This is some funny stuff right here, man. The Newark Waffle House. That's great.
See, JJ, this poll is life or death. See, only real cooks boil their pasta with oil and salt. There you go. See,
Dude, this is it, man. It's an important one. Like people are passionate about this, Jeff.
let me.
I'm telling you, they have a real sort of sense on like.
So we've got a decent number of votes come in, and we'll let this roll for a little bit. I'm shocked to see people answering none of the above.
I told you, Jeff, there are
a little
people.
bit shocking.
It's not shocking because there are people out there that everybody has their own way of doing it. They're like, no, I don't put salt or oil in the water.
But the ones that are boiling without salt and oil are probably always the ones that have the pasta stick to the pan and stick and that gets clumpy inside the water. And they always wonder, how do I avoid the pasta from sticking inside the pan and getting clumpy? Well, now you know.
Well, boiled eggs is another one. There's a whole ritual around boiled eggs. Like some people.
That's another one.
Yeah, there's another one. Like some people just put it in the pan. You know, like for me personally, what I do is I have ice water ready. I have a bucket of ice water, like, you know, ice water, super cold. Not a bucket. It's like a pan or whatever.
It's making some big ass.
Goes right out of there, boom, into there. Shells pop right off. Some people put oil in the water. There's some people put vinegar in the water. Everybody has like a method there. The one I found that works the best, at least, is the ice in the water, super cold. Pop it in there. Shells come right off, slide right off, bam. Otherwise, they stick and you're pulling half the egg off. It's ridiculous.
Oh, so there's a secret in terms of how to open the egg also. What side do you break it on? And then it comes off smoothly. If it sticks, sometimes the egg is too old at that point, and that's why it also doesn't come off well.
Oh, okay. Good to know too.
This is the egg and pasta show. So Hans is saying he chose none of the above because he doesn't eat pasta.
That's weird. That's it. That right in itself there, Hans, is a little bit weird, dude. I'm sorry.
But I have to admit, I don't really eat pasta either anymore. I used to love eating pasta, but I don't eat pasta.
I don't eat it that much myself. I'm just going from days, but
I don't eat pasta often. However, when I do, I boil it in salt and oil.
Yeah.
But it's not just any oil. It has to be a proper olive oil. Don't grab the canola oil.
No,
don't get the peanut oil. Don't get the sunflow oil. Make sure you just get the
extra virgin, Jeff. Extra virgin olive oil.
I get one. We get it online. That's low acidic content to it as well. So you get a nice cold press. Don't cook in. If you olive oil also has a very high, a low tolerance to burn. So you can, if you use it when you're cooking in the pan, it, you know, depending on the heat that you're cooking at, it can go carcinogenic very quickly.
Pasta is all carbs, Eric. You're right. Eric knows. Eric knows. That's
Eric
why
knows.
Hans doesn't eat it. I enjoy it every once in a while, but I mean, like, again, I don't really eat it. I mostly eat mostly meat and veggies pretty much.
JJ says the oil absorbs into the noodles, makes them softer and tastier. Oil after on the noodles feels like a slick cardboard. That's interesting too, especially if you kind of. Especially, how about a little bit of olive oil, salt in the pan, olive oil, and some crushed garlic, and then mix up the pasta in that. And you typically don't need too much.
Sounds pretty good. But if you do a little bit of olive oil, it tastes pretty good on just a little drizzle. Like if you're not going to use sauce, a little drizzle on there's kind of nice.
Mark, my girlfriend wanted to cook pasta and have a quiet dinner together, so I took the batteries out of the smoke detectors.
Pretty good job, man.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
By the way, our family has a tradition when we make garlic bread. Ooh. It's always burning in the flames. It's like nobody can remember to set like a timer. They put it in. We're doing 10 things, and boom, it's on pans going out the front door.
Quick. It's quick.
Smoke
it
alarms
so
going
fast
off.
Too.
You know, it's like it's just a family tradition that everybody in our family will.
Now, XR Peaky Blind over there in Detroit likes to make frog legs, so he likes to cook them slowly. No salt, no oil. According to the WEF cookbook.
Okay, that's good. All right, let's go to this. We talked a little bit about James Wallis getting an award. Now, James Wallis was featured on CoinDesk. He was interviewed, and they put an excerpt out on Twitter. We're going to listen in here. And then, Jeff, let's want to get you guys' thoughts. Put your thoughts in here based on what James is saying here. And unfortunately, what do I know James's title over there? What is James's title over there?
James who?
James Wallis. I don't know his title. We just had him in that last story. I don't know.
We'll find out. We'll find out when we start talking.
It just says Ripple's James Wallis. I don't know what it is. We'll find out. Anyway, let's listen in.
I think there's some more education needed in the marketplace. I think there's a lot of discussion around a CBDC, what it is, what it isn't. Is it the government going to be spying on citizens? All this kind of thing. So I think there's a education required. At the end of the day, I think the federal government, trumps state governments in this. But I think really, I don't think the citizens have anything to be concerned about. CBDC is a digital representation of fiat currency. It's likely to get implemented in pretty much every country around the world. It's coming. There are going to be some great advantages to it, great use cases that will, people will get benefit from. So
what are the use cases?
I see news like that. I think, okay, well, this will probably disappear when people get a bit smarter, a bit more educated about what's really going to happen.
That's right.
Jeff.
It's all going to disappear. It's going to be good. But you know what? From Ripple's perspective, man, I would also be saying that. I say, hey, you know what? It's going to be good for you.
Everything like that.
Dude, you're going to love it. Everybody's going to embrace this product. You know why? Because we just made it, and everyone's going to use the Ripple platform to build their CBDC. And you know what? If Ripple could pull that off, because I know that at least with Garlinghouse at the head as CEO, unless something happens and they upset the bandwagon a little bit, but I feel, I don't want to say confident, because you can never have confidence. Now you have another private entity that's going to be in control of the platform that money's built on, and it's going to go digital. But having that interference level to where they build a chain where they can incorporate privacy into it. They can do all these things. But one thing that we're learning very, very quickly is you can't trust it, mainly because of what's happening over at Ledger. And we'll get into that in a little bit too, because there's some things, Chip, that came out recently on Ledger of what they can or cannot do with your accounts, which is a little bit scary to some extent. But we'll get into that deeper. What are your thoughts about what he said, Chip?
Well, I want to know what the use cases are. There's going to be some really good use cases with it. I'm still okay. What are the use cases, right? So it sounds like a great thing.
And control.
There you go. That's some great use cases.
Those are really good use cases. If I was a government, man, surveillance and control are at the top of my list.
Now, there's no mistake at why China rolled out their CBDC first ahead of everybody. Everyone's like, they're so innovative. They're so ahead of the game. No, they're into control, and they're into surveillance, and they're into, people are like, oh, they're just fantastic. Well, it's cool that they rolled it out probably ahead of anybody. And will a lot of countries, I'm excited to see this roll out for a lot of countries, not in the US. It's not going to happen here. I think what he was commenting on was the states here, especially in the free state of Florida. Ron DeSantis, who's the governor here, signed a bill that said no CBDCs in Florida. And what he was basically speaking to was the fact that the government on the national level trumps anything that happens on a state level. And he's absolutely correct about that. But thank God we have the red team in the House of Representatives there is zero appetite for a CBDC. Most are outspoken against it. And it's so funny. And Jeff, this tells you a lot about it. You know who's for it? The Blue Party. You know who hates crypto? The Blue Party. Pretty much tells you everything you need to know right there. There's not a lot about, right? I mean, it's kind
the problem is they love to hate it too. It's not like, hey, we hate it, but they love to hate it. It's like, man, they're so passionate about their hate.
They are passionate about their hate. Like they really go to the mat. And, speaking of which.
And you know where we live? We live in the great free state of Florida. And you know what they said? No to CBDCs. That's what they said. Obviously, like that guy James was saying, national, it gets incorporated by the federal government, and they make it a mandated currency, then then that could trump state law. But if there's more states rising up and saying no to overreach, and there's a convention of the states on currency, then all bets are off. but they got to leave their hands off of our cryptocurrency, and especially with Gary Gensler, gangster Gensler over there, with his notion when he was being questioned on why he thinks Bitcoin is the one, and nothing else, So here, so let me add this. This is who just mentioned this one. Steve Walker said, "Have you guys seen the SHIB coin from Jack Storm? Jack Storm's got some cool things on it. He's selling these tokens with their NFTs for $1,000 each. But this is like a real token that he's got going on here. He's got some nice artwork, but he made this for the SHIB. So if you want a SHIB coin, you get this cool little SHIB coin. I don't know what you do with it for $1,000. Maybe you get an NFT with it, and it's pretty cool. You can finance it if you want. I don't know if I'd want to finance a coin. But the stuff is pretty cool over here. He's got some nice sculptures too. Look at that.
Yeah. So like, imagine like a badass Yeti coin.
That'd be kick ass. I like the guy's sculptures. So
guy's stuff is amazing. Yeah. It's very cool.
Look at the inside of it. These are probably glass. I don't know if they're acrylic or glass. There was an artist that used to do a ton. I forget what it was. I'd sold a piece once. It was acrylic. Can't remember. And you put people inside of the acrylic. It was really cool.
Look at this, Jeff. There we look pretty good over that fireplace mantle. This is Eric Martinson right there.
Look at us.
Good morning. Look at that. It's got the XRP cup. Also in the
background. Is that now?
Yeah.
I'm too close. I find I lean too far in. I got to lean backwards. Then I lean backwards. It's hard for me to read the screen.
Well, it doesn't really matter, Jeff. I don't think it matters.
I don't like leaning forward. I'm leaning into it. I need to lean back and be more relaxed.
You're drinking your coffee though, too. See, there it is right there. But look at that setup. Look at that. I love that place. That's a really sweet looking. Look at the built-ins over there, man. Look at that. The hardwood floors. Man, that's some serious style over there in the Martinson household there, man. Look at that. Beautiful on the big screen.
Getting hot in here.
So this is great because now Eric's looking at a picture. He's looking at us at a picture of himself holding an XRP cup as he's sitting there. So now we can take another picture and post that of him, of us looking at the screen, right?
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. So there you go.
See if you can do that. Let's see if you can post another one. See if you can post one of us looking at you, looking at us.
There's the main focus right there on the XRP cup right there. Beautiful, man.
Beautiful cup. Look at that.
Look at that. It's gorgeous, man. Gorgeous looking stuff. I bet you that's your own merch, right? I bet you made that yourself, right? Let us know in the comments.
Soon there'll be a nice badass Yeti cup like that. That'd be sweet.
Badass Yetis. All right, let's look at this. So speaking of, Jeff, we were talking about, the people in Congress that aren't really fans of crypto. So this, I'm just really wondering where the brain is with this. Like, I just can't figure it out. This is Elizabeth Warren, the one who appropriated another race for her whole career until into her 70s, and then said, "Oops, sorry, I'm 0.001%, whatever it was, Cherokee Indian." I mean, so her statement, Jeff, is if Republicans in Congress really care about the national debt, then let's bring it down by raising more money. There's lots of ways to do that. Jeff, break that down for me right there.
CBDCs.
There you go. So
stay away. This is what they want to do, Chip.
Now, how do you bring it down by raising more money? Is it raising more money, or do we substitute raising with printing more money? What are we talking about here?
So two things, right? How does the government make money? A, they print it, right? B, they tax it. They take it. So you have two problems. One, they print it into oblivion where you depreciate the valuation of your currency, number one, which is what the government's been really great at doing, which is, hey, we need more money, print more money, and now your dollar's worth less because there's more in circulation. And number two is taxation. And so the blue team is always, and here's the thing. So she's saying the Republicans in Congress, there's a systemic problem within Congress, and there has been for many years, where both parties they love spending, right? They love spending on their pet projects. We need to reel that part in. So if you want to decrease national debt, first and foremost, cut the spending. You can't, you're not a business. You're not producing anything more. What you're doing is taking from the producers. That's if you open up the book and you look at communism, where do you turn to for money? Oh yeah, you go to the producers. And so you keep taking from them, and you say, hey, it's going to be good for you. Go ahead, just keep giving us more money, contribute, pay your fair share. Those are all those nice buzzwords that the socialist communists love to use. Pay your fair share. and they want to steal from you. And so this is exactly what she's talking about. And it's so deceptive, especially since she has deceived the American public for her entire career. She deceived getting into college. She deceived the college by saying that she was a Native American, which she was not, and she got scholarships accordingly. She got hired into school based on the fact that she had a minority status as a Native American, and broadcasted by the college as their first Native American hire. And she gets into Congress the same way. So, when you look at somebody like that, do you automatically trust them? Now, I don't care what side of the teams you're on, blue, red, doesn't matter. You take an individual like that who has deceived the public from day one all the way through. That means, nothing else she says can be held with sincerity. So when they talk about raising money, they're coming to you, they're coming to your pocketbook, and that's not where we want to give it, Chip. Those are my 2 cents on it.
Pretty well said, Jeff. And the funny thing is, I don't know if you read through this tweet, but it's just kind of like unpack it a little bit. So Wei Wan, she has that voice. It's just like, man,
pay their fair share.
And you've never seen this tweet, but you totally nailed it, because you know exactly how they think, right? This is the communist, way. Make billionaires and giant corporations pay their fair share, Jeff. This is the thing they use. And so what is fair for somebody to pay that's worked their ass off their entire life and hard work and everything? And these people would have you, they're always great telling you what to do with your money, but they're not so great with, they never volunteer their money, and they never volunteer to give up a pay hike. She makes $400,000 a month, right, from all of her investments and everything, $400,000 a month, but she wants to take from other people, not from her. And she's looking at Jeff Bezos, right? So Jeff Bezos, I'm looking at you. Why do you always take, at some point, you run out of people. This is the thing. This is the problem with socialism, is you run out of people. I think Margaret Thatcher said that, was you eventually run out of people to take from, right? I mean, if there's nobody left to hustle and shake down at some point.
And that's it, Chip. They don't understand the basic elements of an economy, or they do, but they understand
because
they've never lived. Right. She's never lived in the real world. Right. And, and the fact that she corrupted and deceived means she's never lived in the real world, because she cheated. Her entire career is based off of a lie, and that's super problematic. So now she's going to take that lie and she's going to, quadruple down on it. She's made millions of dollars. She's made shit tons of money off of a deception. Now she's going to go to honest, hardworking people that created something out of nothing. Why is it anybody's business what Jeff Bezos does with his money at this point? Why should there be a minimum tax? And it's so incorrect based on their premise. Again, pay their fair share. So Amazon, do you think Amazon doesn't pay taxes? Do you think Amazon hasn't contributed? It is also taken away from our retail economy in this country, because we've seen lots of retail stores close. But you know what? That was to their own detriment. Because they wanted to continue doing the old way, and people mocked and laughed at Jeff Bezos in the early years, saying he would never succeed, that anyone trying to sell used books online, it was just a fraud, and it'd never happen, and he's going to close up shop, and he couldn't compete with Barnes and Noble and Borders. And who got the last laugh? So now, when he did succeed, after they all laughed at him, after they all diminished his company, now he's sitting on billions, and he sacrificed every waking moment of his day to build up that company. And he employs thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people over at Amazon. Doesn't he have the right to sit back and say, I made my billions, don't touch it? Why does he have to pay a minimum on it at that point? He's paid a shit ton of taxes. He's had more benefit to this society and to the world at large than Elizabeth Warren and her cronies could ever imagine having. I mean, it's the basic principle. It's like Elon Musk. What has Elon Musk contributed to society? Oh yeah, let's see. PayPal, Tesla, SpaceX, and now
boring
what he's
company.
doing with Twitter, the boring company, the stuff that he's contributed to society, and he sacrifices every waking moment to his company to make, and look at all the people he's hired and he's impacted in the life. These politicians don't impact anyone's life, and they're takers. And it's a horrendous way, to try to then turn to other people and say, oh, you need to pay your fair share. She hasn't paid her fair share. That's for damn sure.
Look at this. So this is the Margaret Thatcher official quote. The problem with socialism is that you eventually run out of other people's money, right? This is kind of how it works. And Jeff, if you want to know one of the other person missing logic and reason, that would be none other than AOC, another blue team member, because in 2019
they hate crypto. They hate crypto.
In 2019,
so this is where you have to wake up to this. Sorry.
Right, wake up. But I mean, but it's beyond just hating crypto. They hate anything that where anybody can better themselves. You know, Americans can better themselves, invest in what they want, invest in their future. So Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, better known as AOC. Here's what's funny about her. So she ran, Amazon was looking at building I know Jeff Bezos and his politics, but we're looking at putting a giant Amazon center into New York in her district. And she bitched and complained and screamed. But guess what? It cost the city 25,000 jobs. 25,000 jobs, 25,000 people living in houses, paying taxes, right? Having jobs, paying taxes, because that tax revenue goes to the state and it also goes nationally. So when they talk about how they're going to, take people pay their fair share, well, they had an opportunity to bring 25,000 new jobs and bring people in and build up an area and have a bigger tax base. And what they chose to do was complain. And she actually celebrated this.
Yep.
She declared victory when Amazon announced Thursday it would not build a second headquarters known as HQ2 in Queens, New York. Andrew Cuomo caused it a lost economic opportunity and blamed a small group of politicians, AOC, who put their own narrow interests above their community. So you had a blue team member calling them out. Like, what are you doing running 25,000? Jeff, bringing in like a big headquarters, it's a huge win to bring it in and not only that, but New York, and especially in Queens and the boroughs where they have some of the highest tax rates. I think it's like 9.5% or 10%. I don't know if Rob Licker's in here, but he could correct us on that. But I'm blown away in how outrageous this whole thing is, right? We don't have to get in this whole thing. This whole thing is ridiculous. I don't want to spend too much time on her. The fact is she doesn't like crypto. I put this tweet out here. Concerns raised about Dem policies. Negative impact on crypto and the economy. That tells you something, right? Rising crime rates in blue states are through the roof. And you look at California, New York is exactly what you shouldn't do. Look at Texas and Florida is exactly what you should do, right? And then their solution is to take from the American people, like you said, Jeff. And it's like, how about she takes a 25% pay cut? How about you throw in and say, I'm doing my fair share. I'm doing my fair part. But always, why is this not about cutting the government spending, about projects and like funding things about why, chickens lay eggs? I mean, they have these ridiculous, $400,000 for why chickens lay eggs, $400,000, $300,000 here for a study on why, transgenderism and frogs. I mean, it's just like the ridiculous. They're the goofiest, silliest things. So it's just mind-boggling, Jeff.
She doesn't like what she doesn't understand. So,
well, she doesn't understand.
You do the opposite in New York City, you always succeed. Jeff. So we have some really interesting points. Okay, let's move over to the SEC v. Coinbase, commentary from Stuart Alderoty. I think we have some of that stuff up.
Yeah, let's do this first.
Waiting on some really critical things.
We have an update.
Oh, we have an update.
Eric Martin.
This is like pressing news right here. Eric Martin.
So there it is right there. There's the updated photo of the cup, us showing the cup and us talking about it there. It's fantastic.
But we don't see that on the screen. Hang on. So we see us on the side of the screen. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I see it now.
We're there.
What was I looking at? There we are, right on the side. That's very cool.
Is everybody else seeing Jeff delayed?
We need to see, but am I delayed?
Yeah, it's like you're talking and then like there's something weird going on.
All of a sudden, everything got cut out. It was like,
yeah, something like,
let me leave and come back.
Yeah, something got cut out there. I was like, Jeff was like, pop. Like he was sitting there and I heard him talking. I didn't know exactly what was happening. But let's jump over to some other Ripple news here. And pull this up here. I'm just coming back today. I mean, doing the rest of the show here. Let's go look at some other news here. Yeah, something got really weird on my side too. What the heck is going on here? There he is. Here he is. Here he is.
Had a weird staticky thing when that happens. Like,
yeah, I was like, you were hearing. I only heard you doing. I didn't actually hear the. So here we go. Here's another. So Ripple tweeted this out right here. Ripple's been selected to showcase a key CBDC use case. For the, let's put this out, the official Twitter account of the Hong Kong Monetary Authority, otherwise known as HKMA. And it's the inaugural EHKD pilot program with Fubon Bank.
Nice.
And look at this picture right there.
Exciting.
A lot of, they're just like happy to be there. Looks like one of those G20 photos where everybody's like just like standing there like still. But at least they're smiling in this one, right? This guy's not happy. He's like, get in the picture. He's like, I really don't want to be in the picture.
I don't want to be in this picture. Why'd you tell me?
In the picture. He's like, I don't want to be in the picture. You know, get in the picture, guy. I don't want to be in the picture. Go ahead.
Just about to eat lunch, and you guys took me to take this picture. Come on.
And then I have to sit in here. This is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Win from the DR.
And then we have Stu Alderoty coming in here too, coming in a little hot. So Stu Alderoty, general counsel for Ripple, said, you know, Friday for the legal nerds, yesterday in its Twitter opinion, the Supreme Court, he always puts SUP-CT instead of SCOTUS, like SCOTUS, which is Supreme Court of the United States, is like the official acronym, but he always puts SUP-Court, which is Supreme Court.
Supreme Court.
Yesterday in the Twitter opinion, the Supreme Court made it clear that you don't just mechanically apply factors from an old case. You must adapt them to a new world by looking at the underlying statute and the soil of the common law that comes with it.
That's interesting.
Like
how he did soil.
The soil, the base, you know. And he said this is consistent with Ripple's argument that the Howey and its operating statute carries the soil of common law, which is an investment contract, which requires a contract for an investment that creates post-sale rights for the purchaser and obligations for the seller. Thoughts on that, Jeff?
So some of the things that he's referencing here go, obviously referencing the Howey test. I like how he used the soil because that's where it is growing. One of the problems that we're seeing, especially with Gary Gensler, and he picks and chooses which parts of the Howey test that he wants to try to apply. And I think, for the Supreme Court to say, hey, you can't just pick and choose. You also have to apply. It has to be brought forward. We're looking at a law from 1946, and not really a law, but a ruling from 1946. And so it's, a Supreme Court, had an opinion. They had an outcome. Hence, they got the Howey test. That can be changed. It doesn't get written into law, but it becomes, legal-based decision. And so the only way we're going to get clarity on any of these topics is going to be through Congress actually rolling out some sort of baseline. And even the Howey test was based off of the acts from 1933 and 1934, the Securities Acts. And so that's the law that we're now applying cryptocurrency to. So think about, we're 90 years on, right? 90 years ago, they wrote some law it was good for a while, but now it needs to be adjusted. There has to be some adjustments to it. Hence, Congressman Warren Davidson. And if you haven't seen Congressman Warren Davidson here on our show, go to onthechain.io, do a search for Davidson, and you can see the last episode that he was on with us about 2 weeks ago. Definitely check that out. We have a long version, which is the full hour, and we have a short version, 15 minutes, clipped up, all the critical, juicy stuff with Congressman Warren Davidson. So go check that out. Even if you watched it, go back and watch the short version. That'll be very, very good. But one of the things that Warren Davidson had rolled out was the Token Taxonomy Act. And actually, there's some new laws that are, or some new acts that are being, bills that are being presented in front of Congress. There's a new one with Congressman Tom Emmer and Darren Soto. Darren Soto joined up with Congressman Warren Davidson back in 17 and 18 to roll out the Token Taxonomy Act originally.
And Jeff, that Darren Soto is probably getting a lot of heat from the party. Like, dude, what are you doing? As a party, we don't like this. And he's like stepping out saying, look, this is what I believe in. And mostly he was very outspoken. But, sometimes the party, they're like, hey, they take him out behind the woodshed and they read him the Riot Act. And then they come back and are like all in line. Jim D says Stuart Alderoty has a poetic way of saying, don't step in the old poop of case law. Very well said. The old poop. And go ahead.
XRP panic. The Howey test came out the same year I was born. Dang, time flies.
You're old. Yeah,
man, time flies when you're having fun, doesn't it?
Stu also said this
the Howey test.
In 1946, in the Supreme Court Howey brief, the SEC unsuccessfully argued that an investment in a common enterprise was unnecessary, providing there was community of interest. The SEC was wrong then, and it's still wrong now. Common interest does not equal a common enterprise. And it's
right.
so funny, Jeff, because that's a lot of what this has been about, right? It's like there didn't have to be an investment contract, an actual investment contract. There did. And this is what he said, as long as there was interest, as long as people, it was implied. There's no such thing as implied. Now, Jeff, if you go buy a car, you have a contract, you sign off on it, you owe the money, you buy a house, you have a contract. There's no place where you're like, I was just interested in a car, but you owe this money. Well, it was just interest. I mean, I was just out of curiosity, but no, you owe us, $64,000 for your Tesla. No, I don't. This is ludicrous. So he goes on to talk, and he highlights the spot in there, which is, while some of the cases do stress elements in a particular situation, making the enterprise a common one, there's no suggestion of statutory language that an investment contract is limited to an investment in a single enterprise. That requirement of public offering, Section 4, Paragraph 1, does, of course, necessitate sufficient community interest to make any individual units offered substantially similar investments. And this is it right here. So they were losers back then, and they're losers. They're going to be losers soon today. At least that's what I think. We're losers.
If you're looking for a badass Yetis, you can check them out over at that nice link that I sent, even though the link that I meant to send wasn't the link that actually sent. So let me recorrect that, because this is one that you guys can remember for all time. This is the one I meant to send. They both work. They're both good.
Work. Yeah, they're both good.
I want to shout out XRP Cafe. XRP Cafe as an amazing NFT partner. These guys have been absolutely outstanding, helping us through every step of the way. Responsive. They're coming on tomorrow night with us. So big shout out to the XRP Cafe guys. They'll be here with us tomorrow night. It's going to be an amazing show. We're going to talk all about it. If you guys go check us out on Crypto Eddie's podcast, because we got to dig in to all the things that we went through to learn the process of minting, an NFT for the first time, actually building in the space. And that was really, really amazing. And so we're going to get into that a little bit more tomorrow night as well, because these guys have been absolutely outstanding. So check out, support the community, go check out XRP Cafe, go check out the amazing, a lot of the great projects that are over there on the XRP Cafe. And of course, check out the Badass Yetis, because the Badass Yetis are kick-ass. And if you haven't followed us yet on Twitter, go to the Badass Yetis on Twitter. Go over to the Discord. Check out all the amazing things that are going on everywhere.
Yeah. Also, too, we are working on. I know there's interest in the community as well. People are like, I don't really want to part with my XRP. It's a little too precious. So we are going to be rolling out. We're going to be rolling out the Badass Yetis on Super Mojo. Pretty excited about that. So you'll be able to buy a Badass Yeti with fiat currency, Apple Pay, Google Pay, all that. So that's pretty exciting. So there will be a limited number that we're going to roll out, kind of test the waters a little bit. But everybody said last time that they were pretty interested in doing that. So that's going to be a priority. And then we have this story right here.
I accidentally had the little thing at the end.
This is Paul Grewal, and he is the general counsel over there at Coinbase. I think that's what it is. Is that what he is? General counsel there? Yeah, chief legal officer, close enough. So he put this tweet out saying, today the SEC responded to Coinbase's petition for the writ of mandamus, asking the court to require the SEC to respond just yes or no to whether it will undertake rulemaking for our industry. The SEC's answer, a resounding maybe. And this is what you're going to get with the SEC. They're going to go around it. And this is what happened when Gary Gensler was in that hearing back on April 18th, where he was never answering a question. Chair Gensler, yes or no? We will, sir. Couldn't answer the question, right? I like this. I like the approach that they're taking, like, hey, whether it'll undertake rulemaking. Unfortunately, they don't have the ability to, and this is exactly the point. Will they undertake rulemaking? It's kind of a gotcha question. The SEC does not make the rules, and Gary Gensler is the one famously saying, well, we don't need new rules because there already are rules going back to 1933, 1934, and 1946 Howey. And sure, okay, that I'm guessing that's exactly what he's thinking, but unfortunately that's not it. And then we had Stu Alderoty, which I love this tweet. He was commenting on Paul Grewal's tweet. He said, I found a typo in the SEC's brief. They referred to their active regulatory and enforcement agenda in crypto I think they actually mean active regulation by enforcement agenda. I don't think any of us recall seeing the SEC's crypto regulatory agenda. Touche. Boom, Jeff. Can we get a boom on this? Holy cow, that's a big ass boom right there.
Shake the room.
We don't know. It's a big boom.
Oh, whoops.
Boom!
Boom! Yeah, boom. It's a lot. That's 3 booms in a row. That's a big ass boom right there. Yeah. So I love this.
Boom!
Yeah, I don't think any of us saw it. That's because we didn't see it because it doesn't exist, and he's so eloquently calling out the hypocrisy.
So Chip, we got to get to this before it's too late. But what is this whole thing with Ripple stealing from Amazon?
Tell me more about that, Jeff.
What did they steal? And did they really steal something from Amazon? Was it real clickbaity type of stuff, or was it very, very interesting? I think as we look at this, get over here.
Put it up on screen, dude.
Trying to get it.
Put it on screen. Let's check it out.
It is. I don't have a lot to talk about it other than just one little statement that let me see if there's an actual article that goes with this. Hang on. See if this is it. Maybe that's not it. So anyhow, so what Ripple did do, no, that's the ledger. I keep getting the wrong stuff. I lost the link that talked about so I lost it. We'll just bring it up. We'll just mention.
What was it anyway? Because I'm not in the know.
So
this is new to me.
So the excitement part. So there are a whole bunch of things that Ripple was doing this past week when the government's tripping over themselves with their shoelaces being tied together. Actually, they're tying their own shoelaces together, then tripping over them. So last week we talked about Metaco, Ripple acquiring Metaco. They're launching their CBDC platform to start rolling out all over the world, and they hired Amazon CFO as part of the team. So they didn't really steal from Amazon because it's an ex-CFO from Amazon. But you know what? Ripple has been, over the period of time, they've compiled a who's who of their board. They've got an amazing legal team. They have an amazing financial team. They're doing some great things on a global scale. And there's really no stopping them, from a corporate structure perspective. There's a lot of things that have come out, based on their CBDCs and utilizing the XRPL and how important the XRPL is. Whether or not they end up using XRP in the platform, which we know they will, and eventually want to be able to do, especially for ODL, which is the on-demand liquidity and all those other amazing things that are happening. But to get out there, to this general public. So Steve is saying he left Amazon for Ripple. So there you go. So people know the direction, especially at that level. They want these CFOs, they want to be part of amazing projects. Amazon's already reached its pinnacle. Amazon, there's really nowhere else Amazon's going at this point. Amazon is Amazon, like eBay is eBay. All the big they've reached their pinnacle. So now we want something that's exciting and new and something where you can put a huge stamp on. And moving over to where Ripple is going to be the epicenter of moving money on a global scale. Who doesn't want to be part of that? And making sure, that these guys are being held to accountability to make sure they're doing things right. But that's what I'm saying. When they stole from Amazon, they stole something amazing. Amazon doesn't really need it, but they need somebody amazing at this point, and they got something amazing. So that's really, really cool.
Yeah, Jeff, if I could sum that up, I would say, tell us you're going public without telling us you're going public, right?
There you go.
That's kind of, they added him to the board. But again, this is a guy who's going to oversee the public filing. You heard it here. I mean, that's exactly what this is all about. If you know all the regulatory stuff you need to go through and you need to have everything buttoned up, it's an incredible venture to go public. It takes a lot of work and it takes an incredible team. And who would be the best team to put in place? Let's see. I don't know, maybe the ex-CFO, hire this chief financial officer away. It might be kind of cool.
We're parsing language here. So
yeah, we're having a little bit of goof.
Sole person. Now we're just joking on the fact, obviously it's a free system. He can go wherever he wants to go. The point is that they got a key asset, higher asset from Amazon that had worked for Amazon. Like we said, he's reached the top of his class with Amazon. Now he's looking for bigger moves. So moving over to Ripple, big deal. It's going to mean a lot of things. That's why we're getting all these interesting comments here too. Larry said, it seems like they're posturing for a takeover of the financial payment system. A lot of things can happen here at this point, So I like that audit, transparency, things that are in the need right now for Ripple going public, like you said, it's really, really perfect position for going public. Now, does that benefit us in any way at this point? If you own shares of Ripple, you're going to be doing really nice. It looks like they're going to do some really, really amazing things moving forward. What does that mean for the XRPL and XRP? You know what? Even if Chip, and here's my opinion on it, even if Ripple just paves the way for the utility of the XRPL and XRP within their ODL platform, even if that on its own, doesn't have a major impact on massive price movement, what it does do is it normalizes the utility of the XRPL and XRP to be scaled at massive numbers with other companies. And that's where it gets exciting, is that they're understanding and they're seeing the foundation of how things are going to be transacted here in the near future, even though those like Elizabeth Warren and the rest of the cronies, Chip, are trying to hold back and make sure that doesn't happen so they have full control over our money.
Right. And then this too, I wanted to put Bill Morgan had a good commentary on Stu Alderoty's 1946 Supreme Court Howey brief. We just mentioned that tweet. But Bill Morgan says, to put this and Stuart's tweet in context, the starting point is to recognize that the SEC is trying to massively stretch the Howey test to cover crypto on the grounds that the test was intended by the court to be flexible. This is a really solid observation, right? I mean, it covers everything. And, and Gary Gensler, Jeff, recently said that Congress painted with a broad brush, and Congress has always done this because they don't want it pigeonholed. The reason I think the crypto regulations haven't come out yet is because they tend to do this, right? So regulation have to be very specific about how you're going to regulate the industry. If you look at the MiCA that just passed over there in Europe, very specific. It's a little bit broad in some areas. It doesn't account for everything, but at least it can always be amended. It always can be added to at some point. What I like about this is, Bill Morgan's mentioning here is that the court was ruling about an orange grove, and John Deaton famously said the oranges were not the security, it was the scheme. And in this case, the XRP is not the security. It would certainly be the packaging of the scheme. John Deaton's gone on record saying that he believes that maybe early day sales could have been a security. But again, what does that have to do with what's happening in 2023? What happened 10 years ago? He goes on to say, Jeff, that the SEC does this in relationship to crypto by an expansive view of common enterprise. It allows it to avoid the word enterprise and then the need to link it to a specific transaction and focus instead of on the adjective common, right? We're trying to make it like it was common interest. It was common this. And this is why you never really can understand or easily answer the question, what does the security actually say in the common enterprise that Ripple and XRP holders over the whole globe for 8 years are involved in? Thoughts?
I love it. I'm looking at this and I'm realizing, the direction that we're moving in at this point and moving rapidly. And I was looking over here and Anders posted a comment from Monica Long that posted today. And I think this is, really important kind of as feedback to what you're saying here. Let me see if I can grab it. And so let me pull this up. So this was a comment. He kind of clipped it, but tokenization of real world assets such as homes, bonds, equity, investment funds, et cetera, is primed to be in the tens of trillions by 2030. I'm especially excited about the potential to bring all kinds of illiquid assets on chain in the near future. Now, in order to make that happen, you have to have a foundation on which it's built. And that foundation that is built on that is going to allow for all of this stuff to happen seamlessly are platforms like the XRPL, making sure that we have solid clarity in our regulatory scheme to make sure that the SEC is held to account. And based on some legislation that was being introduced by Warren Davidson to actually strip the chair of the position within the SEC and make the chair accountable to the commissioners instead of the commissioners accountable to the chair, restructuring the way our system is functioning right now because it's not functioning. It's malfunctioning. And in order to move in the direction that we need to move in, this is where it's all starting. And if we delay the inevitable, it's going to be bad for us over here and it's going to be great for people all over the world, but they can't they can't stop and they can't stand in front of progress. And I think that's what we're seeing from Bill Morgan and Stu Alderoty and all the rest of these guys. Progress is happening. And if you want to keep standing in front of it, you know what? The steamroller of history is going to squash you, and you're going to become a footnote in history. And that's what Gary Gensler is going to be, as a footnote in history and nothing of importance.
I can't say I don't love that, Jeff, because I absolutely do love that. It's fantastic. I wanted to put this up here. Let me see if I can share my screen. Of course, I can't make this bigger, but
D was saying we need to get qualified investor regulation overturned so smarter retailers can buy Ripple before going public. We need a form to opt out of SEC protection. There you go. Had to get that in before.
There you go. No, it's awesome, man. Very good, very astute comment there. So I wanted to show this, Jeff, because you know, AI is going crazy lately, and there's one site where you can do epic rap battles. So I put in Gary Gensler, and I also put in Brad Garlinghouse. And so this is kind of what it came up with here. This is the epic rap, the Garlinghouse versus Gensler. So it's a welcome to the ultimate showdown. In this corner, we have Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO of Ripple. And in the other corner, get the boo button ready, Jeff.
Wait.
Just get it ready, okay? And in the other corner, we have Gary Gensler. Now, I love this, that the AI said it was the former chairman of the SEC. I did not write that. Does AI know something we don't? The former chairman of the SEC. It was the CFTC, but okay, we'll take it. Boom! Let's see who can split the hottest bars as they battle on the topic of cryptocurrency regulation. We got verse 1. This is Brad Garlinghouse. Yo, Gensler, let's talk regulation. You clearly missed the whole innovation. Clamping down on ICOs with no discretion made the whole market need a recession. You want to take Gensler?
Here, hold up, Brad. Let me school you real quick. Your XRP is clearly a securities trick. You can try it. You can try to fight it and play it cool, but in the end, you always look like a fool.
This is Garlinghouse. Gensler, you're just a bureaucrat. Cryptocurrency regulation, you're clearly not that. You may have worked for MIT and Goldman Sachs, but when it comes to crypto, you're just a hack. Gensler?
Oh, listen up, Brad. You can't hide. You and your Ripple team clearly lied. Selling unregistered securities is a federal crime. Maybe it's time for you to do some time.
And then Garlinghouse, you're going down, Gensler. Mark my words. Your way of thinking is for the birds. We'll keep pushing forward, changing the game, while you're left behind, stuck in your old ways. How lame.
Boom!
Nice try, Brad. But let me make it clear. You can't just bend the rules by pretending to hear. The SEC will catch you sooner or later. You'll be left in the cold without any data. Last verse, Gary Gensler. Oh, wait.
That's supposed to read that. You're supposed
you're not. I'm reading the.
I don't know. Somehow I put him twice. I don't know.
I feel like Joe Biden. I'm just reading whatever's in front of me. You thought you could beat the king of regulation. The truth is, Brad, you're just a devaluation. Your XRP may have its fans, but in the end, it'll always be in the SEC's hands.
Oh. Beautiful. What's amazing about this is that this is pretty spot on. And you know what so Jeff, this is what you put in the AI. This is how it was. It said put the name 1, Brad Garlinghouse, name 2, Gary Gensler, and then what's the topic? And it was cryptocurrency regulation. So basically, if you think about it, Gary Gensler, 2 words, Brad Garlinghouse, 2 words, crypto regulation, 6 words produce this. This is crazy. And the fact that it got a lot of it spot on. I mean, the ICO thing was a little bit of a reach. But I love how they thought that maybe the whole thing with calling him the X chair of the SEC. I love that. That was fantastic. But that's the epic rap battle. That's all we have for you guys today.
Awesome.
Before we get out of here, I wanted to end it on a fun note there, but we'll be back tomorrow night. We will have on you guys from over there at XRP Cafe. It's xrp.cafe. That's the URL. Go check it out, and you'll see the Bad Ad Yetis in the featured section there.
We need music to the rap lyrics, Chip.
You know what? Now we have to do is take, with AI, we can duplicate Gensler's voice. We can, we can do Garlinghouse's voice, put a little mixtape together.
Oh my God, that would be classic.
Which would be not as lame as us reading it, but that's just, what are you going to do, man? I mean, like, we're not rap guys. Right. That's all I have. Jeff, what do you have before we get out of here?
Holy shit. Like, let's not do that. That's a bad idea.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
It could be. Want to give a shout out to everybody here with us. Check us out tomorrow night. XRP Cafe with us. You guys are the best and the brightest in all of crypto YouTube space. If you haven't done so already, go check it out. Go check out the Badass Yetis. You don't have to buy one. Just go check them out. Go to otc.1/mint-badass-yetis. OTC1 Mint Badass Yetis, and go check out the Badass Yetis, or you can just go to xrp.cafe Badass Yetis and you'll find us over there too. Go check that out before tomorrow night. If you haven't seen the Badass Yetis, I'm sure you have, but that way you can engage in some discourse. You can ask the XRP Cafe guys any question you want to ask. Just don't talk about Bitcoin or Ethereum or anything like that. Limit it to good stuff. No, I'm kidding. You can ask anything. Come prepared. Come with some great questions. Big achieved landmarks right here with the Badass Yetis. 52% of the first tribe has been minted. There's 589 to be minted. 52% have been minted already. We also have a massive anniversary that just passed actually on Thursday. So we got to announce that. The 1 month anniversary of the first minting of a Badass Yeti. So the Badass Yetis were officially minted into birth as of April 18th. Super exciting date that'll go down into infamy. And big shout out to Crypto Eddie. Go check out Crypto Eddie.
Fuji.
Amazing things with us. She's got the Scoogy Badass Yeti. So go check out the Badass Yetis also. But check out more so, go check out what is going on with our interview with Crypto Eddie, because she did such a phenomenal job bringing us on, allowing us to talk all about the backstory of the project that we went into. Go check out the Discord also, because Chip and I completed, but I posted it last night. We've completed the first part of the legend of the Badass Yeti. You can read it from start to finish over on Discord. Not the best platform to be able to post and read stuff, but it's nice. Go check it out. There's a lot of interaction going on over on the Discord too. So it's exciting to have that project. Or don't hang out here with us 3 days a week. Saturdays at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Sunday 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Times. For all our last viewer that's still here with us, you guys, you're the best.
Thank you, one viewer watching us right now. We appreciate you.
You guys are awesome.
Appreciate you so much. Yeah, take care, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Chip and Jeff. See you guys.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.